Hello everyone and welcome back to more Lucid9 Inciting Incident. We are back in this madness of a game. It's the game that took on a quick turn, went from 0 to 100 really quick. So, for those of you who watched in the last episode might have remembered, the fact is that we figured out who the killer is, who the hell the killer is, and it was Mr. Ryouta. Oh my god, top 10 anime betrayal. Like, I trusted you, but nah. This is how it be sometimes. But anyways, we are back because in the last episode, along with finding out who the killer was and trying to, get it resolved, get this whole thing solved, and Mr. Ryouta be brought to justice. We didn't do so well. We didn't do so hot because I didn't answer the call that was supposed to be that unknown number. I didn't answer that number because again, Yama was reasoning that it might be because it might be the police who are trying to track him down via his phone location. So that's why it's too risky. I don't want to do it. So what we ended up ignoring that call, and then Mr. Ryouta calls, and so he's full on psychopathic. Not really full on psychopathic, but he caught on to us that he knows that we know that it's him now. So he's like, okay, fine. So I want you to come by the school alone so that we can talk this out. I've got some plans for you. And we're like, oh shit, okay, fine. So the first time around we came to the school, we came back, we entered through this secret passageway that Mr. Ryouta had figured out. The whole that's how the janitor comes out, and that's how he gets out to the front of the gates in order to drop off the garbage without having to circle around the entire school, because that'd be it's inefficient. So he was the one who found out about that secret passage. Mr. Ryouta took it to his advantage to be able to sneak out undetected and kidnap students undetected as well, even when it's past curfew and they checked in to curfew. So he leads us back up to this classroom, and we see for the first time we see he's kidnapped two students, first years. They're both brothers and sisters, and he has this sadistic game where he's I want you to be part of the what's it called, the discipliner. Yes, you are now a discipliner, and now you will either choose to hit the brother or the sister, and whoever knocks out, or whichever victim falls unconscious first loses, kind of thing. It's a really fucked up game, but that's what he roped us into, because if we don't play along with his terms or go along with his games, then he might just end up killing everybody. So we tried to do that, except we ended up getting we fully get triggered by the whole carnage that's going on, and Mr. Ryouta breaking the boys' kneecaps and shit like that with a metal pipe. So we get triggered, we sort of lose our subconscious, and this other subconscious, this other quote-unquote bipolarness comes out and appears, and we suddenly become the killer ourselves. We become this psychopathic killer who is hell-bent on revenge on the world, because we try to do the right thing all the time. We try to mind our business, but now we're getting shit on anyway. So we ended up killing the two students as well as Mr. Ryouta, and then we disappeared into the night, kind of thing, where we will exact revenge upon the world. That was the first time around. The second time around, we picked up the call. It actually turned out to be Shigure. She tries to help us. We let her know that we know that it's Mr. Ryouta. We tried to get her in a way where she'll send police in time in order to catch Mr. Ryouta, but she's the thing you need to do is that you need to buy time somehow. We need time to organize this in order to catch him. And she's obviously against the whole sending us in there alone, but Mr. Ryouta reached out to us first, so there's no choice. We have no choice but to go along with his plan. He catches wind that Shigure is eavesdropping in on the conversation. He tells us to hang up, and then of course he strikes a deal with us. We're we need to buy time somehow. So the first time around we were okay. So he was saying how we need to come alone, and or else Ruri dies. Yes, so Ruri obviously is kidnapped at this point. That's the only reason why we actually end up going, is because he has Ruri captive. So if we don't listen to him, she'll end up getting killed. So the first time around, we are like, okay, well, I'm not going unless I get to see Ruri. I don't know where she is because Mr. Ryouta was like, you know, if you come, just so you know, like, she's not going to be in the classroom. So first time around, we were like, no, we need to see her or else we won't come. And he's like, okay, fine, she'll be there. Don't worry. So yeah, so I accepted those terms at first, but then the second time around, we're here again. The second round of term accepting or rejecting was if I forgot what the terms was, but I didn't accept it. I didn't reject them. I only accepted them because I thought, okay, at least we were able to see Ruri now than, you know, the first time around. But then it kind of played out the same way. Instead, though, he leads us up to the classroom. Ruri is there as well as the two other students, the brothers and the sisters, first years. Except this time around, Mr. Ryouta made us either choose between bashing a skeleton dummy or bashing Ruri, and like, you know, it's the same kind of game where he's like the first person to the first victim to fall unconscious, like they lose kind of thing. So I tried to like switch it up and be smarter about it, and then like I let Mr. Ryouta do Ruri and we do the skeleton, but no, we ended up getting triggered by Ruri's pain and Ruri's suffering, and then of course we ended up getting this whole other like other personality appears, our psychotic killer one. We ended up killing Ruri, we ended up killing the two students, we ended up killing everybody literally in the class, and then we disappeared into the night again. And that was both of our bad endings. So there we go. So we're back here on the second time around where we could either choose to accept the terms or reject the terms. So instead, I had the feeling I'm not going to use a guide just yet. I want to try to do this by myself. But so the second time around, I had like this other like feeling where I was like, oh, maybe I should have rejected these terms as well instead of accepting them. So I'm just going to do that and see where that kind of leads, because the first and foremost thing that we need to do right now in order for this to work out is to buy time. So I think this can do it. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Let's see. Let's go, you guys. Let's see what could possibly go wrong. Reject these terms. So I'd also like for Ruri to be untied. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. All right. So she can run away. No, as if you wouldn't be able to chase her down. Heh, playing hard to get, aren't we? Yes, fine, because I'm so very magnanimous, I accept. Okay, so would your highness also like a pony? Any new terms stack the odds more in my favor, but I'm not currently in the position of power. If I push too hard, everything could go south. Okay, so reject these terms, accept these terms. Now we got a third time. We can either accept them or reject them again. But we still need to buy time. Okay, so what we have so far is that we are able to see Ruri. Ruri will be there when we get to the classroom. She will be untied. But the thing is that he has a third party that was keeping Ruri like in place. So I don't know whether that is enough. And again, Yama has a good point in saying that we are in no position to be calling the shots here because we don't have much to lose. Well, we have a lot to lose, and Mr. Ryouta doesn't. He's the one with the upper hand here. Should I push the envelope? Should I try pushing one more time? Third time's the charm? Third time's the charm? I don't know. Maybe. Oh shit, no. Stop it. Haunted keyboard. Okay. I'm gonna YOLO at this point. I'm just warning you guys now. This might be a while in terms of us trying to get a new ending. Or a good ending, not a bad ending. So like, I don't know how. I'm gonna give this one more shot, and then perhaps I'll pull up a guide then. So reject these terms. The more advantages I push for, the better I'll be off later, right? It's worth a try. I might only have one shot at this. There's one more thing. Say, kid, I don't know if you're stalling for time, but there's only so much garbage that I'm willing to put up with. Oh, haven't your parents taught you what happens when you're greedy? You lose everything. His voice is as cold as steel, turning my palms sweaty. I get the terrible feeling that I've just made a mistake. Shit! Wait, then No more playing around. Seems like you got too caught up trying to play God, kid. Oh, Rui's staying out. Sorry, guess you won't be able to see her. Okay. Guys, I kind of want to go back. I kind of didn't want to push it. Okay. Hear me out. I usually don't do this, but like, I really want to get this right. Okay. Rejecting the terms is first and foremost something that I want to do. So we can get her to be untied, and that's it, okay? And then we can go back. Okay, so accept these terms now. So no, if I'm honest, there's not a whole lot more I can ask without making the request seem downright ridiculous to Ryouta. Ruri's going to be there. I'm going to see her. The police will know where I am. This is the most I can ask for. So the back of the school then. I'll give you 15 minutes. I'm coming from the subway station. Then you'd better run. Ta-ta. Okay. So I'm gonna skip on out. So that's the last thing he says before he hangs up. Yes, okay. So almost blankly I stand in the middle of the subway station. Okay, I'm gonna skip on ahead. I'm gonna skip on these old dialogues where Yama makes a run for it. Okay, so we're in the classroom that Mr. Ryouta has taken us to. We see Ruri. She's still gagged, and we're relieved either way. So she screams something muffled against her gag and kicks the wall. The abrupt noise stops me in my tracks. Oh, it seems the damsel in distress wants to share some lovely little words. Okay, so he comes over, gets a knife, and just don't. Okay, he slices down, and he takes off the gag. There we go. So I force a ragged breath as Ryouta screeches. Yes. Okay, so yes, Ruri. Goddamn Ruri. Yes. What the hell are you thinking? She's like, yes. I clear my throat and croak something incomprehensible, then try again. You okay? Yeah, but not for long. Let's say it. So why didn't you just stay home? Because I couldn't leave her to die. Because I had to do something. I guess I got lazy. I'm being lazy. Okay, so we're talking, but I thought that she was not supposed to be bound. What the hell? Yeah. Okay, so you see, I'm a good sport, so very accommodating. You won't find an executioner. Okay, yes. Okay, so it's played out the same way in which I don't understand. Then I don't understand. I don't get why we asked Ruri for her not to be tied, and he was like, okay, fine, but she was still gagged anyways. Like, I don't get it. Anyways, so he's asking us again. It's either he gets Ruri and we get the skeleton and he beats the crap out of her, or we choose the two students. So last time I said Ruri and the skeleton because I was trying to be edgy. I was trying to be, I was trying to be edgy. I was trying to throw them off the game, but no, it didn't work out. Let's just say the two students this time. So I try to speak, but it comes out as a croak. Desperately, I clear my throat and try again. Let's work on the two other students. The reactions are immediate. Ryota's face lights up with a manic smile. In a manic smile, Ruri's jaw drops. The other two students explode. Yes, you bastard, you damn bastard, I can't believe you. So please don't hurt my sister, don't hurt me. Oh, this makes me free. So brother and sister, yes. I silently watch as Ryouta gleefully skips over to the chairs, dragging the two students over. Ruri gasps breathlessly. Brother and sister, the cruelty will never end. I swear if you lay one finger on my brother. Ryouta stops abruptly. The momentum throws the girl against her ropes, temporarily choking her into silence. So isn't she just so darling? I picked her out specifically for you, boy. Yeah. Yeah, oh yes, she gets to be yours. Yeah. My mind runs blank as the girl glares at me, her hate burning clear in her eyes. You're disgusting, I know. I say nothing. It vaguely dawns on me that I should direct her anger at the serial killer, at the psychopath who orchestrated this entire thing. But can I really? They still had hope that they would go unscathed, that only one person would have to suffer rather than two. I crushed that hope, the last hope they ever had. And now they'll die for it, agonizingly, with nothing but despair. Instead, my reply is automatic and empty. I'm sorry. I fully expect her to spit in my face, but she only turns her head away. Hisao, look at me, Hisao. Yes. The terrified boy locks eyes with her, face doused in a mixture of tears and sweat. You'll be okay. It'll be okay. Do you understand? It won't be. It'll be okay. Yeah. So I look at Ryouta, expecting him to slap her into silence, but he only leans against the wall, grinning like he's having the time of his life. Of course, he must be having a field day. The pleasure of pain brings him more joy than death itself. I get the sudden urge to laugh, but I don't know why. Yama. The airy voice from the corner reminds me of Ruri's presence. She's staring quietly at the scene before her, her face bleached white. You're not going to hurt her, are you? Oh my god. Guilt, terror, regret, anguish. We must both be feeling their full effects. Close your eyes, Ruri. She stifles a quiet sob. I turn to Ryouta. Now that everything's set up, I need you to untie Ruri. Oh yeah, there we go. You know I can't do anything to you while you still have that knife, and neither can she. Yeah, and neither of us will leave the other person to die either. Yes, only because you're the teacher's pet boy. Okay, so he stalks over to Ruri's chairs and cleanly slices her bounds. She promptly clasps her hands together, breathing deeply. Don't run, Ruri. He'll kill both of us. Yeah, I won't. I turn back to Ryouta, hands sweaty against the fabric of my jacket. Yeah. So what are the rules of the game? So it's quite simple. Okay, so now he's let Rui go, which is great. That didn't play out like last time we did this. So he strides behind the teacher's desk and pulls something out underneath. My heart drops. Yeah, the metal pipe. 2 metal pipes, around 3 feet in length, rough around the edges. He rolls one to me. I automatically stoop down and pick it up. We'll take turns inflicting blows on our disciplinees. Good, solid blows that make a nice musical sound. The first discipliner who knocks out or kills their disciplinee loses. Right. The boy bawls at this point, even the girl is shocked into silence. The first person to fall unconscious means a loss, which means I have to inflict pain without the promise of comfort. If I want to win, or at least not lose, each blow needs to be felt by their conscious mind. And in that moment, I'll be just like Ryouta. Oh, don't give me that face, boy. Be glad I didn't pick the knife. I mean, I'm pretty tempted to, but then you'd probably lapse, and that's just boring. Yeah, something like this needs to be remembered. So, are we ready to begin? No, I'm certainly not ready. I'll never be. So I shift the pipe in my hand, feeling its weight. It's hefty, sturdy, could easily break bones, probably shatter a skull. And it's in my hands. I'll go first. Watch and learn. Okay, so he's gonna do that trick where he's gonna come up to the boy. He's gonna like, kind of like feint a hit, but then he's gonna like whack him on the knees anyways. So yes, he raises the pipe, and 3, 2, 1, whips it down, but then stops inches away from the kneecaps. Psych! And then when he gets comfortable again, just whacks them, brings it down. Yeah, crack goes bone against metal, and the air splits with the impact of the air splits from the impact of a horrifying agonized scream, punctuated by a shrill screech of metal as the base of the chair grinds against the ground from the force of impact. So yes. Oh beauty, true beauty, how poignant is your sting. Yes, he giggles quietly to himself as the boy rears against his chair, leg forced into an awkward angle. Yes, damn it. This can't go on. I realize it quietly through the empty shock as my fingers tighten around the pipe. I can't let this go on. Is there a way to outthink the situation? Anything at all? When it's needed most, my mind fails me. Well, your turn, boy. So, 4 students, including me, 4 lives at stake, 2 thrust in the middle of terrible suffering. I originally came with the intention to just grab as much time as I possibly could. I thought I could prevent a death, maybe 2. But there's no sign of the police, not even the slightest indicator that they'll come at all. And now death is looking like the best option. To buy time, I'd have to draw out this game, causing as much pain to this girl as she can bear, while the boy suffers beyond description, and if the police don't come, we'll still end up dead. I can crack this girl's skull, give her a merciful end, and then I lose, and Ryouta unleashes his knife on the rest of us. Or if I move really fast, I can maybe put an end to both her and her brother, in which case it would only be down to Rui and me. No, Shigure said she would come, she swore she would come. She said, she promised, she told me. Stop dallying about, boy. We haven't got all day. Okay, so hit the girl, attack Ryouta, stall. Oh no. Okay, we're getting progress. We're getting progress at least this time. I don't know, cuz we can totally catch him off guard, right? Like, we got a metal pipe, but he also has a metal pipe, so he can totally like overpower us too if we miss our blow. Hit the girl, attack Ryouta, stall. What would happen if we stall? I want to stall, but at the same time, I feel like if we can stall with just, oh god, stall maybe? Okay, I'm gonna try going for stall first, and then we'll see. But the thing is that Yama had noted that Mr. Ryouta is not the patient type. Like, I feel like if anything, he would just be triggered into. Oh, stop it! He'll just be triggered. He'll be mad. He'll go off his like, what's it called? His knockers, and just like, do something crazy because we stalled long enough in his eyes. Oh my god! I'm still gonna try it. I'm still gonna try my luck. Stall. Pipes. Don't you think it's a little, I don't know, dated? Just because something is old-fashioned doesn't mean it's bad. Oh. Let's try stalling more. One more stall and then I'll hit her. One more stall. I'll hit her. I don't see what you mean. Sure you do. Never been an avid fan of change, have you? Should I go for the third time? I tried going for. I don't know. I don't want it to happen like the other time where we tried to reject that offer the third time, and he's like, "Nope, I'm done." Okay, let's just hit the girl. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hit the girl. In a situation like this, it seems like everything the only option is to go with the flow. I automatically step forward, knuckles turning white as I raise the pipe. Shigure says she would bring the police. Shigure needs me to buy time. Buying time means abiding by the game, drawing it out. Pain without mercy, conscious damage. Yama, please, close your eyes. The voice that comes from my mouth is cold and blank, nothing like my own. I keep my eyes open as I swing the pipe down, knowing that I'd only endanger the girl further if I closed them. I see the pipe descend. I see the girl's eyes widen. I see... yeah. The vibration rocks from the tip of the pipe up through my arms to my eyes, which rattle in my sockets. I feel the impact of her arm giving way beneath my own hands. Something in me, something that I hadn't known was there, slinks away into the shadows, gone forever. The girl gasps for breath as her brother bursts into tears. No, a brother, a sister, doomed to die. I step back, hands shaking uncontrollably. Ryouta only throws back his head and laughs. Oh yes, that's it. I was worried for a moment, thinking that you'd pansy out. But you mean business right now, don't you? There must be something, some other way, some advantage, something that doesn't involve this. I still myself, keeping my eyes fixed on the girl before me, faking shock. Maybe, I can't say that I'm really faking. Meanwhile, I let my mind cast about the room, mentally recalling every sensory memory that it shelved away as I entered the classroom, searching for some miraculous solution. Oh. The door sprung open beneath my touch as I stepped into the classroom, my finger enveloped in the nighttime gloom. Ryouta stormed behind me, letting every footstep vibrate through the floor, up the doorframe, into the foundations of the building itself. He was enjoying himself, maybe a little too much. He was waiting for this moment, I think. The students that he'd carved to pieces might have pleased him temporarily, but this night, this would be his magnum opus, and he would want to relive it 1,000 times over. He grinned with confidence as he cupped his hands around his mouth. And the delinquent arrives at last, so I shuffled further into the room, squinting into the darkness of the furthest corner, my breath shallow and my palms sweaty. In the meantime, Ryouta pushed up his sleeves and tossed his keys and phones on the top of his desk. That was when I saw Rui. Wait. Tossed his keys and phone on top of his desk. There was one thing that I'd overlooked, the mole and the police. No matter how quickly and secretly Shigure might act, there's still a high chance that she'll be found out. After all, it only took a few minutes for that mole to delay the news to Ryouta. This time shouldn't be any different. Okay, so any time now a phone call could warn Ryouta, tell him to get away, and then that would be the end. It doesn't matter if I manage to distract him with this game, it's not like he'll ignore a phone call from his accomplice. Okay, I'm thinking now. Okay, that is true. In that case, I need to get rid of that phone. I have a pipe in my hand and I'm just a step away from the desk. The main problem is breaking it without Ryouta noticing, or if he does notice, he won't think that I'm knowingly sabotaging him. Right. We gotta do this sneaky. Hello, or to Yama Ishimoto. What? Is this a little too much for you? My voice catches and squeaks, which makes me sound exceedingly helpless. That's a good thing. Ryouta giggles quietly, but his eyes are narrowed. This must be a little rough. Do you feel like you're hitting your poor sister? I wouldn't worry. She's already dead. You know that. I grip the pipe tighter, my knuckles whitening with pressure. The rough edges of the metal start to cut into the palm of my hand. I welcome the anger, the panic, the helplessness that's swirling through my blood, gathering it into one tangled ball of black emotion. Must still be sour for you, kid, no? Would you rather hit the little boy? Shut up. Oh, Yama, please don't listen to him. Come to think of it, maybe you'd have some fun if you had the boy. You'd finally get an outlet for all that self-hatred. Well, Yama, he's just trying to get to you. You can fight it. Okay, so shut up, you bitch. Oh. With brightening speed, he bounds across the classroom and seizes Rui by the hair, yanking backward until her neck is at an unnatural angle. Oh, shit. Oh, God. I liked you at first, but now you're just a little yapping dog. I should slit your throat right now. Feed your esophagus to the brat over there. He gestures to the boy who's fastened to the chair. Rui makes an instinctive whimper deep in her throat. Do we have an understanding? Yes. Okay, do we have an understanding, you blathering whore? Oh my god, yes. Oh, fucking god. Something locks in my brain and all my emotions drain away until I feel like an empty automation. You shouldn't have touched her. Oh, my vision blurs with rage as I raise the pipe with both hands, my arms shaking. Cold, everything feels so cold. The edges of my lips pull up into an unbidden smile as a fleeting vision passes before my eyes. Ryota's body, battered and broken at my feet, waiting for me to make an imprint. I seize the vision even as a deeper part of my mind shrinks away in horror. I let it control me. You shouldn't have touched Ryouta. I slammed the pipe down with as much force as I slammed the pipe down with as much force as possible. The metal pulses against the floor with an ear-splitting crack. Splinters of something white and shiny shoot away from the point of impact like a spray of bullets. The boy and the girl shrink back in their chairs, staring at me with wide eyes. It's irrelevant. Get away from her. Wow! I let my voice increase in volume. I let it shake. I let it steep with madness and fury. Ryota steps back inadvertently, not out of fear, but out of surprise. He almost seems pleased with my transformation. I lunge forward, my voice exploding shrilly out of my throat. Get away from her, or I'll kill you. I start swinging the pipe madly, like an unbalanced marionette on a string, letting the end swivel into desk, chairs, walls, anything. I rush at Ryota, but he nimbly weaves between the desk and tightens the grip on his own pipe. My pipe passes within an inch of Rui's face as I whirl around, bowling in Ryota's direction towards the desk. Oh! I vaguely register a look of open horror from Rui, but I flick it away from my mind like a gnat. I lunge at Ryota with a full force blow, swinging down, letting out a vicious scream. Onto the phone? And just as I was hoping, Ryota is startled by my sudden burst of energy and instinctively dodges to the side instead of blocking my blow. My pipe slices down and splits the polished surface of the teacher's desk, sending shards of wood flying. The impact rattles up my arms and into my skull, but most importantly, I've hit Ryota's phone dead center. It shatters into the new pile of rubble, the resulting crackle masked by the destruction. I'm so smart. Oh my god, look at you go, Yama! Yama, this acting is kind of scary, like you're really getting into it, but like, damn, you're selling it. You're really selling it. I don't dare to take a pause. I can't celebrate the small victory. Instead, I let my anger fester and take hold of the pipe in my hands. I'll kill you right here, Ryota. I swing again at him, and he steps back, adjusting the grip on his pipe. He's getting ready to counterattack. The momentum in my arms carries my weapon straight into the wall, sending the plaster cracking. I let loose a scream of frustration, something that rips my throat raw and ricochets against the broken wall. From the corner of my periphery, I can register Rui clasping her hands. Yama, please stop. Is that the best you've got, kid? You still haven't landed a single hit on this old man. I don't let myself think. I just swing the pipe unblinkingly at his head, knowing that it won't hit. And Ryota drops down, just as I suspect. His eyes widen with glee, and he swings his own pipe with one hand, and... ouch, my stomach suddenly lurches back against my spine with a piercing hammer of agony. I'm sent sprawling to the ground, and Rui is screaming faintly in my ears. Yama! And then the coldness, the numbness, the emptiness, it all melts away, and I suddenly feel weary, like every footstep is being pulled through mud. The bowl of pent-up aggression in my gut is replaced with a pounding soreness from the impact of Ryota's pipe. For a moment I let myself lie there, splinters of wood and plaster pricking into my back. It would be so easy to just close my eyes and sleep, let this whole world drift away. Get up, boy, game's not over yet. Unless you mean to forfeit. Ah, that's right. I can't forfeit because there's other lives on the line. That's what I came here for, to help these other people, to save some lives. I start to push myself up, but my abdomen clenches in pain. I graciously fall back to the ground, my back stinging from the tiny daggers of fragments embedded into the ground. So, no forfeit. Pity. I turn onto my side and try again. This time, I lean on the remains of the desk, cradling an arm against my aching stomach. Where was that energy from that split second ago? Why am I suddenly so tired? I guess that I tend to charge ahead when I have a purpose, and without that purpose, I just run on a broken engine. I needed to break the phone. Now I've broken it. What's left? Wait, how long? When will Shigure come? Right, Shigure? Fucking hell, girl. What are you taking so long for? Cute play, boy. I see what you're trying to do. My veins fill with dread, and it takes every ounce of self-control for me to not cast a glance at the buried phone. Unfortunately for you, noise isn't an issue. You can throw a tantrum all day, and no one will hear a thing. The new curfew keeps kids in the dorm court. No one's gonna take a stroll around the classrooms when they could be playing foosball in the common room. I don't have energy to respond. I don't even feel my face move. Gradually the cold, welcoming emptiness in my mind is dissipating, replaced with a creeping sense of utter what? Something dark, black, something that feels like it's squeezing my temples and smothering my nostrils until I can't breathe. Well, that was an interesting intermission. Must be my turn again, no? He weighs the pipe casually in his hands, like he's adjusting his hold on a on a baseball bat, and lifts it over his shoulder. I only register his words when he steps forward, sidling closer to the boys' side. Suddenly, past the bolt of pain in my diaphragm, I'm screaming, "No!" Ah! Oh god! Oh god! Ugh! I automatically close my eyes at the moment of impact, but that doesn't make the crunch of his collapsing bone any less loud. Ryouta struck the boy's hand this time. I keep my eyes off of it, scared at witnessing the damage for myself, but judging from the boy's shocked stare, it's just as bad as it sounds. But please don't hurt him. Oh, I wouldn't worry if I were you. You'd be getting your fair share of the pain. She groans at this, loud and anguish, bubbling in her throat like a clot of blood. Breaking the phone wasn't enough. There has to be more, something else I can do. Are you enjoying this? A filler, as my mind scrambles for something more adequate. Why, yes, I am. Thanks for asking. And you even enjoyed the previous students? They were alright, but this little show has been the best by far. It's like playing chess against a toddler versus playing chess against a rival. One just doesn't bring that satisfying challenge, you know? I can't feel good about pulling a checkmate on a little kid who's not even potty trained. He's becoming more talkative, taking his focus off the game, even if it's just a little bit. I seize this with desperation, so maybe they were more of a challenge than you thought. I figured you out, just from the clues that they dropped. At this bold claim, Ryouta tilts his head like a broken doll. I see the deranged gears in his head picking up speed ever so slowly. Because Ryouta doesn't like games with only pain, suffering, injury. Yeah. Ryouta likes to think. Ryouta is intelligent. Yes, Ryouta would look for a battle of wits just as readily. Even this pipe game, it's a twisted mix of sadism and psychology, his mind clashing against mine, trying to make me succumb to his methods. Maybe there's a way to pique his interest and bring the floor back into balance. It's the last hope I have. Okay, you always were a sharp kid, weren't you? I had high expectations for you. You've exceeded every one of them. You deserve a gold star. Thanks. I hope you know that a gold star isn't exactly a great incentive at the moment. Oh, but I read that positive reinforcement is better than punishment, particularly when it comes to children. To be fair, I've always thought of it as a ruse. Punishment gets results. You just need to look at history to realize that. It's because of whips and taskmasters that the ancient pyramids and the great terracotta army were built. Meanwhile, what has modern humanity done? Skyscrapers? What beauty do those hold? They're glorified prisons, cages of metal and glass, meant to trap in pathetic little animals. Is that what you consider success? Building something big? Some people just prefer happiness. Happiness, what a subjective measure of reality. At least impressive structures are tangible. They are made of strong material, carved to loom above the common populace. When you look up, you realize the depth of man's insignificance. Happiness? What can measure happiness? How many smiles I send per day? Oh, let's not forget the first world dream, living in a mansion with a Ferrari and thousands of servants. Nothing brings happiness, but so much brings awe. This is just a meaningless stall for time, but I'll take it. He's starting to warm up, and weirdly enough, so am I. Maybe happiness is subjective, but awe, does it really bring fulfillment? Doesn't it? Haven't you ever stood on the precipice of a great chasm and just thought, I could just die happy at this moment? It's an unparalleled feeling in the world, child. You seem to be regarding me with skepticism. Then pray tell, what is your opinion? What makes you happy in this foolish little world? What makes me happy? Something about the question seems to be a trap. Is he waiting for something to use against me? Is it time for another layer of psychological warfare? My friends, I could say. My friends make me happy. Then he'd point out how none of them were here, how I've endangered the only one who mattered, how friends are simply an arbitrary term for a circle of useless acquaintances. All I would feel is despair. Then what else could I offer as an answer? Being alive? Being alive to do what? Feel and experience everything that life has to offer. Then Ryouta would say that if the gift of life is enough to bring happiness, then everyone should always be happy. The slave beneath a whip, the trafficked girl in a brothel, the prisoner of a war on a rack. And again, I would feel only despair. I would only feel despair. What makes me happy? What fuels me to get up in the morning and keep going? Altruism? Hardly. I think most people in the world are pretty stupid and don't deserve to live. Love? Yeah, as if I'm a foundation of affection. What is there to fuel me? What makes me happy? Anything I think of, I know that Ryouta can rap and use against me. He'll try to break me with my own words. Oh, have I been caught? A shame we had to meet under these circumstances, child. Your mental faculties are truly impressive. Do you understand the theme of my lecture? I can't say I do. Will there be a study guide? You're already in the test, boy. I'm afraid it's too late. Simply put, he who has the most drive has the most strength, and he who has the most strength has the most power. Look at you. You can't even tell me what makes you happy, whereas I gave a confident answer. Why do you suppose that you are so powerless, while here I stand, invincible? Here, he even took my lack of answer and used it against me. I try to tell myself that it was the right decision. Are you saying that you won? I'm just reporting facts. But even if I'm weaker, I can still beat you. I already beat you. Nobody was supposed to know that you were responsible for the killings, the recent ones, or the independent ones. Ryouta stops in his tracks, his eyes glinting. Well, whatever the independent killings were, it looks like he really was the person behind them. It's a breather that I desperately seize. I try to cover my fatigue by flinging a challenging look in his direction. You've been busier than I thought. Doesn't seem to be too hard. People don't tend to expect much of me. But you've made friends in the high places, Yeah, high places. This throws me for a loop. What does he mean by high places? I got that information from Natsuki, and she lives in a shabby apartment in District 6. No, I can't be distracted. I have to keep the conversation flowing, make him lose track of time. Just how many people have you killed? The Aztecs had this remarkable belief system. Would you like to hear it? I just asked a question. In order to appease the gods, to keep the universe running smoothly, they were to offer constant human sacrifices. Priests would rip out the hearts of prisoners of war while they were yet alive. If they slacked in performing this ritual, the kingdom as they knew it would fall to pieces. That's why you kill people? To keep Isamu running? To keep Isamu running? What kind of reason is that? Oh, what? Do you think I'm a priest? I am the priest. His voice drops and takes on a tint of something unfamiliar. My spine tingles in apprehension. I am not the priest, child. I am the god. I receive bloody offerings. I do not give them myself. The city must earn my goodwill, lest I paint the streets red with my vengeance. The ones who scorned me will be obliterated by the very words of their own mouths. Oh, dear child, you know nothing of the beauty of pure, unadulterated strength. Well, is he implying that he has actual control over the police? Is that why? Like, is he blackmailing them somehow? I open my mouth, willing a snarky remark to come forth, but there's nothing. My hands are shaking, tightened against my throbbing stomach. What kind of madness has seized this guy? I straighten and open my mouth wider, hoping that something will come out, anything. If I don't say anything, if I don't distract him, even if it means I have to listen to more of this insanity. Your antics amuse me, boy, but our intermission must come to an end. We must return to our little game. Too late. The opportunity's been lost, and now I'm rattled and I can't recover. In terms of psychological damage, he's won handedly, and I don't think it could have happened any other way. Like a puppet master overseeing a play, he has total control over every scene. Well, boy, it's your turn. What is your move? Hit the girl, attack Ryouta, stall. I don't know. I want to try stalling one more time. I know we've stalled enough, but like I want to try stalling again. I can't keep hitting her. It's a pity that life doesn't change whether you can or can't do something. Okay. One more time and then I'll hit her. Why? Did that happen to you? Oh, are we having a little heart-to-heart? Should I hit her? How much time do I have to stall for? What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna hit her. I'll hit her hand. Hopefully I hit her hand the same way that, should I try stalling one more time? I've tried doing it 2 times because I'm trying to do it in the pattern of like how we tried to reject the terms. So okay, let's fuck, I don't know. This is so hard. This game just got so hard all of a sudden. Stall one more time. I'm gonna do it one more time because last time I only did it twice before I hit the girl. So let's try again. Try again. No, because I asked him a question. He's like, "Why are we having a heart to heart?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just do it, buddy. Talk to me." Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna save it right here because I feel like I'm pushing the envelope. I really do. I really do, and I kind of don't want to, but at the same time, I need to know if I can do it. You know? Stall. Then something must have happened. Something that turned you pretty bitter. You'd love it if it were true, wouldn't you? Hurry up, clock's ticking, boy. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I think I get his drift now. Okay. Okay, I think I get his drift now. Okay, all you just saw the change of expression, didn't you? Like he was smiling, he was like playful, he was kind of like in the mood, but now he's like he means business now, which I think it's our time to hit the girl. I'm so sorry. I get it. I have no other option. I have to just follow along. I should have done it the first time around. I just only noticed now. My hands shake as I step closer, raising the pipe. Maybe I can get away with hitting softer. No, it's a dumb idea. I know it's a dumb idea. Ryouta would immediately know, and then he'd make me hit her hard. Then he'd make me hit her again. I can't close my eyes. Might accidentally kill her if my aim is off. So I keep them wide open until the air pulls tears out of them. Then I swing the pipe. Oh shit. Her arm hangs limply over the edge of the chair, bent in an unusual angle that raises bile to my throat. How must she be feeling at this moment? How can she stand it? Held captive for no reason, every nerve screaming fire at her, begging her consciousness to fade, but finding no relief. How can she live through that kind of miserable existence? Say, kid, you're not looking too hot. Want to call it a sick day? I doubt that's an option, I want to say. Something unaffected and cynical, something that keeps me safe from the mess of the world. Instead, my mouth opens to pull up a topic to divert the conversation. You said you killed people for fun, essentially. Oh, does that bother you? I assume it would bother most people, but if I remember correctly, the Aztecs, well, they killed other strong warriors to transfer that strength to the sun. So, what made you turn on a bunch of helpless students? Even as I ask the question, the inner crevices of my mind whisper quietly, is it worth it? Isn't this just prolonging an agonizing demise? But what other option is there? Come to think of it, earlier you mentioned being an executioner. Heh, good observation, kid. Let's just say that it's no coincidence that all the victims are connected to the Ikari's son, Oh yes. How fun, you're about to join that number. This makes me falter. Of course, if Yahiko isn't the killer, but has a connection to every single victim, it has to bear significance. How could I have overlooked that? What do you even have against Yahiko? He's harmless, he's gentle, he feels like a little kid in a broken world, something so stupidly innocent that it's refreshing. Yeah, I have nothing against Yahiko. You're asking the wrong question. He has nothing against Yahiko, but he's killing people close to him. That's an incredibly drastic maneuver. Why would a serial killer suddenly focus his attention on someone like Yahiko? No matter how hard I think, the answer eludes me. But I can't falter. I can't let him remember to continue the game. Think. If I were Ryouta, if I were some psychotic man who loved to kill people, inflict extreme agony, then why would I do such a thing? What is Yahiko that I'm not? What does Yahiko have that I don't? Yahiko is arrogant, a dreamer, easily excitable, oblivious. No, these are personality traits. Think deeper, motive. The Ikari's son, Ryouta said before. The Ikaris. Ooh, they might have done him dirty. If it doesn't have to do with past history, they don't really know each other that well after all, then is it because of money? Money, connections. Yahiko is the son of two higher-ups that Lemniscate. If Ryouta doesn't have anything against Yahiko, then could he have something against his parents? If you were aiming for Yahiko's parents, it seems a lot more effective to target the people around them. Still have that brain of yours, I see. Yes and no. Yes, since Yahiko is just an easy avenue to his parents. But targeting the people around the parents themselves, instant suspicion, not to mention artless and cliché. I thought you'd be smarter than that. A little thought bothers me. Yeah. Why is he so open with his information? No, I don't have time to consider this. Right now, I just have to accept it. Okay, so think more. I am Ryouta. Even now, I want to see blood, to hear screams, to No, something is clashing. Students aren't a challenge. They're too easy for me, the wretched pests. Their deaths are simple and insignificant. They will be remembered for what? A day, 2, perhaps 5 years by their families. But eventually they will fade into inconsequential nothingness because they are young and meaningless. Another tally in a long list of missing persons. Whereas if I could get my hands on a politician, or a world leader, or even a company executive, mourning for weeks, months, years, remembrance in history books. The man who killed the king, or the president, or the emperor. I shall make my mark on society forever, a beautiful thread filling up the space of an intricate tapestry. But instead, I've decided to kill students, to capture insignificant little rodents just to put pressure on the Ikari family. What a joke! Why am I even doing this? Why, indeed? The Ikari family is threatening me. No, certainly my judgment would be more swift. I would care not about my own death as long as I could have them suffer first. Were they threatening me, I would see them in their rooms the next night with a knife in my hand and a grin on my face. Right. Capital punishment would be insignificant. I would face the chopping block gladly in that case. So why then? Money. Perhaps someone is commissioning me with a monetary incentive. Tish, as if. I am paid in blood. Currency is of little value in my psyche. If I really needed the pocket change, a few black market inquiries would do. Then why? Perhaps I need something money cannot buy, something that only a certain commissioner has. And the only way to get it is to pressure the Ikaris, even if it means killing rabbits. To do that, I started with someone only slightly related to Yahiko, Midori Meino. They would not even notice. Yahiko may mourn the compassionate imbecile, but to the Ikaris, it is just an insignificant disappearance. Then Toma Hayashi, who interacted with their son on a greater level in the orientation group that Yahiko led. That may raise some eyebrows and call for suspicion, but nothing that the Ikaris can prove. Next is Akane Tsukino, girlfriend of Shoji, who was close to Yahiko due to the Happy Club. Shoji himself followed thereafter. A spiral of people with Yahiko Ikari as its center. The poor soul would not understand what was going on, but surely his parents would. And in return, I would receive something of enormous value, something that money cannot buy, even if it means that I must sacrifice a portion of my dignity. Did you figure it out? 'Cause I didn't. Heh. Heh. Okay, why am I laughing? Yama. You, Ryouta, are on someone else's payroll. You are a freelancer with a client. You are no artist. You have no satisfaction. How the mighty have fallen, once a predator, feared by all, able to strike whenever and wherever he so pleased. Now a mindless guillotine with no will of its own. How great is your greed? How great is your greed that you would betray your love of art for this? Oh, you fool, you've conquered dogs and rats. Silence. Oh, his voice teems of ice, and I feel his psyche riding in humiliation. And it's just so thrilling. When they screamed, how easy it must have been to forget. Just as a man can distract himself with symphonies, so he can distract himself with agony. But when you return, when you lay your head on your pillow, you must have realized the bitterness of your own insignificance. Rabbits, pawns, you are pest control. Do not test me, boy. But I'm caught up in the euphoria, a welcome distraction from the never-ending cycle of pain and panic that plagued me before. Selling your soul for a delusion, a pittance. Do you never wish to go back to happier times, a time where you were a shadow with a name? The independent killings, nothing is more fearsome than the unknown. The people who knew about them, were they terrified? Did they huddle in their beds every night, unable to sleep, thinking that they could be next? Did it stroke your ego, knowing that the one who held their fate in their hands was you? Or were those killings also at the discretion of your employer? Were there further connections that the police simply could not deduce? Was that also a primeval commission? Oh, okay, so... okay, so I don't know for certain, but like the independent killings for sure was him, but like we didn't know who the victims were, but like in a way I feel like it might be like some higher up at Lemniscate, some politician, some like, head figure of the government hired him, this like, I guess, freelance hitman, like, I don't know, artist wannabe, whatever, whoever the hell, hired Mr. Ryouta to go killing some of their like enemies or some of the people that they want to get rid of, and to pay him in a hefty sort of money. And then he did it, and he did it so well that he like headlined the news. But afterwards, like, he sort of faded out into existence, and because he headlined the news, he like got a taste of that fame where his notoriety was known. He's like, oh my god, look how famous I am, look how well of a job I did, like, like, I could be great, I am good at this kind of thing. But no, like, ever since that killing, like, he's faded out to existence. Like, the person who hired him to do these killings were like, okay, we need to wash our hands of this, we have no connections with this man no more, unless we want to get arrested and shit. So now I guess he's taking it into his own hands to just go around killing these students that go to this prestigious school that is connected to like the higher ups that had hired him before. So, like, say for example, I don't want to say it's as far as like, Yahiko's family or someone in his family that had hired him before, but like, maybe at this point it might as well be like some like uncle or his father even, like, like he was the one who previously hired Mr. Ryouta for these independent killings, but then, when he faded out of existence and, he don't care about him no more, he's like, fine, if you don't care about me and you don't want to like, hire me or like, give me credit for this shit, then like, I'm gonna just shit disturb my own stuff, like, be a shit disturber basically. And like, when these killings build in numbers, it's gonna eventually connect back to you, so you're gonna get dragged down with me in a way. Maybe I feel like that could be a possibility, this like extravagant sort of plan of his. Oh my god, let's continue the story. We got it so far, we made it so far. Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself. So Ryouta grits his teeth and digs his fingers into the nearest desk, but he doesn't say a word. Then I'm right about everything. There we go. Here you are, the fearsome Cerberus, yet you are bound to a pathetic little leash, caught up in corporate politics at that, where there's nothing but big wigs bickering like toddlers. What exactly do you need so badly? I can't imagine you'd be craving love or friendship. Give me a quick reminder. What else can money not buy? Respect, naturally good looks, peace of mind, or say an honest politician. Motives, Ryouta. Motives are interesting things, aren't they? Everybody likes to think that their motive is special and unique, but in the end, they're all the same. Money, love, power. Which of those apply to you? Or do you still think that you're all that special, that you're something more than an empty little puppet dancing from the strings of someone's fingers? You're pathetic. What a sick existence. What an agonizing, wonderfully meaningless Oh, Yama, stop it. This is not winning. Oh. Ruri's voice shocks me out of character, like a fish suddenly pulled out of water. I stand idly for a moment, my mind blank. Not winning. Of course. I wanted to win over Ryouta. I wanted it so badly that I even became Ryouta, and I let myself stay as him, even though I despise him more than I've ever despised anyone. But even that isn't winning. That's just losing. Because to become Ryouta would just be to win the battle and lose the war. I'm already inflicting injury on innocent students with metal pipe, just like Ryouta would. Yeah, if I lost my own mind. Cute display, kid. Real cute. He's smiling assuredly, already recovered. His voice is calm, but I catch a note of tension that wasn't there before. I get the impression that I made a terrible mistake, that if I had proceeded, well, he would have snapped. Yeah, you would have, yeah. What would happen if he snapped? Would we all look like these two students bound to their chairs, broken, helpless, pleading for death? I shouldn't have tried. But what else should I have done? Just gone along with the status quo? Would that have resulted in anything different? Know what's interesting? You're still missing something, aren't you? You think you've read the whole book. You think you know how it ends. You think you know the whole pattern. But you're still blind. You see out of one eye, boy, but not the other. Missing part of the pattern? I don't understand. Think harder, boy. So, the sequence of deaths has to do with Yahiko. So what? So what? The broken gear in the back of my mind slowly begins to churn forward. Right, all the deaths revolve around Yahiko. Specifically, over time, those deaths have gone closer and closer to the epicenter, almost like a whirlpool sucking in its surroundings. Closer to Yahiko. Within the school, the closest people to Yahiko. Oh. Are me, Rui, and Masato. Yeah, the inseparable gang that hangs out together day in, day out, flailing through life with a bunch of rambunctious high school shenanigans. Of course. That was why he'd instantly picked up the phone. That was why he'd been prepared for my call. That was why he'd kidnapped Rui, because we were already the next ones on his list. Oh no. Oh, that was quick. Congratulations. To be honest, boy, the Kurogane boy should be here too. But ha, guess what? He goes to bed too early, out like a light, doesn't answer his phone. I even prepared my whole excuse and everything. I suddenly feel so very tired, weighed down. My intellect is fraying away. I can feel my sanity bleeding out of my body. Just let it end. It was all planned from the very beginning. I can't keep holding out. I can't prolong this misery. I try to one up Ryouta and only end up in a worse state than before if that trend continues. My eyes drift aimlessly to the ground, the pipe swaying limply between my fingers. Blood dripping quietly from the chair, a small amount, a terrifyingly small amount, given how much damage we inflicted. How much internal bleeding must there be? How much pain? Now I know Ryota's motive and history, so what? I'm still an accomplice in manslaughter, bit by bit wiping out the opportunities in this girl's life. The dream of playing on a sports team, the dream of being a pianist, the dream of marrying a normal guy and having normal kids, shamelessly and brutally striking those dreams from existence with no method of recovery. She's someone who actually has opportunities in life and they're being taken away by someone else. Ah, the injustice of the world. You better be grateful that I'm a patient man. A lesser being would have peeled your form in layers for your insolence. Oof, oh, please don't do that. Please don't say that. The mental image pulses in front of my eyelids and I stumble backwards, nausea surging in my throat. That's right, I'm just a kid trying to fight a seasoned serial killer. What was I thinking? I use my hands and push against the desk, shakily trying to prop myself on my feet. I only collapse bonelessly to the ground, legs like gelatin. Like gelatin, yeah. I can't continue this way, not much longer. I see blood on the edge of the pipe in my hands. Blood that's not there, blood that I know isn't there, but blood that still weeps down the metal and coats my hands. All is silent save for the strangled sobs of two injured children, two dying siblings side by side. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, guess it's my turn again. You know, I'm really giving you an advantage here by going first. Now you'll always be one hit ahead. Please, let's just stop. He ignores my faint whisper and steps forward, adjusting his grip on the pipe. The boy whimpers, incomprehensible words spilling out of his mouth. Sorry, kids, but the world doesn't listen to begging, and neither will I. He swings the pipe with vindictive justice, perhaps a payback for my insolence. I flinch instinctively this time, barely missing the moment of impact. And then, a chair screeching against the ground, a piercing scream that rends the air, a light, sweet chuckle from a man who's lost his mind. Man, as I force my eyes open, I catch an unfamiliar pungent smell. Vomit, dripping from the boy's mouth, pooling over the sides of his chair to the floor below. My stomach turns over, my grip rattles against the pipe. Oh, yes, this is life, children. The beauty of pain has no substitute. I step forward, forcing words out of my dry mouth. We need to stop. I can't handle this. Ryouta swivels on me, the joy in his eyes immediately dissipating. We're just getting to the good part. Yeah, you saying you're gonna forfeit, but my dude, holy shit, quitters never prosper, boy, and you wonder why you've never prospered. I drop to my knees harder than I intend. The shakiness of my limbs give my legs a solid blow against the ground. This is no longer an act. Groveling and showing vulnerability. It's not just another strategy anymore. I have no other way out, no other hope. Please don't do this. Yeah, my dude. Yeah, how? Hello, Shigure. Do what? I can't find the words, so I only sweep my hand around the room. Oh, all of this? The whole captivity thing? The game? The fun? I managed a nod. Oh my god, but my dude. Then, will you lick my shoe? What? He stamps a foot in the puddle of the boy's vomit, shaking it teasingly at me. I don't make a move. This is... I'm waiting. I open my mouth, fighting for words. Nothing comes. Oh, yeah, sorry. The vomit gleams on the sole of his shoe, mocking me. Ruri makes an instinctive sound of distress, gripping her chair with whitened hands. I stare at the shoe, willing myself to lean forward. Oh my fuck. I don't move. You see, boy, you're not ready to really beg. Why? Because you're still clinging to your pride, pathetic as it is. If you were really ready to beg, if you really threw away your pride, you wouldn't be aiming for the limbs, no? When you hold that pipe, you would be aiming right at the skull. Oh my god, stop. That is your only hope right now. The only hope of all of you, death. But sadly for you, I don't like to rush my execution. It's just such a waste. I shakily clamber to my feet, weighing my arms on the table to pull myself up. Pride, belief, control over the situation. Do I really have any of those things? Maybe he's right. Maybe if I really was hopeless, I would have already crushed 2 skulls and resigned myself to a long, excruciating death. But here I stand with a pipe ready to hit again. Why? So, now that your little dramatic stint has ended, I believe it's time for your turn. Yeah. He tilts his knife against the moonlight in Ryu's direction, sending a fresh reminder of the stakes. Okay, let's do this again. I know how to play this game now. We stall for as long as we can until he stops smiling. I feel like that. But like again, what happens if we actually attack him? Stall. So, you don't like to rush. Oh, I know your little tricks, boy, and I'm not in the mood to entertain them. Oh, there we go. Can we attack him? Can we possibly attack him? How long is Shigure gonna, fucking be? Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna go for one more, should I risk it? Should I risk it for the biscuit, you guys? I've exhausted my stall because he's not smiling anymore, but, what happens? But no, we're in, no state to attack, though. We're, we've gotten a hit ourselves, so, I feel like we wouldn't be able to overpower him no matter what. Okay, hit the girl. Oh, wait. Shit, did I save that? Fuck, I don't know. I can always fast forward, it's fine. So I grip the pipe, arms shaking, and as I raise it over my shoulder. But aren't you stuck here forever? The fight, isn't it getting too tiring? Aren't you exhausted? You're not strong enough to face this. I shake my head and squeeze my eyes shut, trying to knock the voices out of my head. We can't do this, Yama. We can't do this, Yama. This is wrong. We can't. I swing the pipe. Oh god. No. The pipe drops out of my shaking fingers. I lean heavily against the nearest desk, my knees too weak to support my weight. I can't do this. Oh, sure you can. You're doing great. Ryouta lifts the pipe over the boy, whose face is coated in a mixture of sweat and tears, slicking his hair against his forehead. The boy's eyes slide to mine, begging silently, hating the day he was born. Ryouta sends an icy smirk with a sheen of madness, reminding me of my earlier behavior. Payback, he seems to be saying. But I do nothing. Oh my god. The note is raw this time, raw from an overused throat that's been screaming far more than it should. When it descends into silence, I can hear the breath of the 2 students rattling in their lungs, shallow and anguished. Blood is starting to trickle from their mouths, slowly, down the corner of their jaw and dripping onto their pristine uniforms. Death would be the far better option. How much time has passed? It feels like days, stretched out and pushed against each other. Practically, I know that it can't be more than a few hours. The sun hasn't started rising yet, but holding out for this long only seems like delaying the inevitable. In the meantime, harming innocents along the way. Why did it have to be you? Be specific, boy. I wished it wasn't you. Shape up and tell me. Ambiguity helps no one. Okay, God. You shouldn't have been the killer, Ryouta. He was supposed to help me. He was supposed to get me through school, through drama, through life. Not this, never this. Stall! Oh no, wait, he's not smiling. I don't know. I don't want this. I can't do this. Why don't we try stalling? One more time. I thought that you were with us. Why? Do you feel betrayed? Stall some more. Grovel if you must. I thought of all people it wouldn't be you. Unfortunately, that is a fallacy in your own thinking. Stall some more. But why? Why you? You know nothing, boy. Quit your dawdling. Okay, now he's he's not happy again. Okay. What do I do? This has gone on for so long right now. How the hell? I want to attack him, but at the same time, we're in no shape to attack him. Honestly, we're not. We're honestly not. How? I see no other way. Oh my god. I don't know what to do, you guys. I don't want to risk it for the biscuit of attacking Mr. Ryouta, because, hit the girl. I raise the pipe, but my grip falters as my eyes turn to the girl. She no longer has hate in her gaze. She doesn't even have the slightest hint of anguish. Everything is just empty. I whisper it again, that trivial excuse that does nothing to help the situation. I'm sorry. This time, though, she responds, quietly moving nothing but her mouth. I know. and I swing the pipe. The blow rebounds against my arm as the bone of her leg fractures beneath the hard metal. The resulting scream is just another repeat, another skip on a broken record player. I falter backward, the pipe rubbing my hands raw. Reminds me that every bent limb, every cry of pain is all my own doing. No one held my arm, no one swung the pipe. Every blow was my choice. No one bears that blame but me. And I don't know if I can continue to hold on. There's no sign of sirens in the distance. No janitor making his rounds. Not even a student in sight. Okay, just 4 teenagers and a serial killer with a knife. That and one solid pipe in my hands. I could say that I don't know what to do. I could say that I'm helpless. But it would be far more accurate to say that I know exactly what to do, and I'm just too scared to do it. What, no begging this time? Why? I'm almost disappointed. He strikes the boy again, a brutal blow that crushes his fingers. The boy retches as he screeches, choking on his own vomit. The wet, crumpled cough that results is far more painful to hear than any scream. It's the sound of a human who is slowly dying. Stop it, please, somehow. I step to the side of the girl, gripping the pipe so tightly that its rough patches begin to dig into my palms. I've gathered enough time. I've tried my best. The police aren't coming. In the situation where there should have been a way out, any way out, there is none. The only relief I can bring is by murdering as many of these students as I can. Murder. I've heard so many times that taking a life changes you, that once you get blood on your hands, you stop being human. What will that happen in this case? Killing this girl, turning me into a monster? I don't know. I just know that there are 3 innocent students here, and if I don't do something, they'll be stuck in this never-ending cycle of agony. And it would have been better if they'd just died earlier. It would have been better if I had just killed them earlier. I don't want this, but is there any other choice? I just want everyone to be okay. Kill the girl, attack Ryouta. We're gonna attack him? Duh! We're gonna finally attack him. I feel like we've gone on for long enough. Like, I don't want it to risk it, but like, no. Attack. No, Ryouta is the one at fault, and he'll be the one to pay. I pull the pipe up over my shoulder with great deliberation, as if preparing myself to strike the girl again. A moment passes. Then I fling the pipe around me, straight over the girl's head and right towards Ryouta. Surprisingly, he's caught off guard and barely raises his pipe in time. The force of my blow crashes right against his weapon, driving it into his shoulder. He grunts in pain, but I feel no bones give way, nothing that could give me an advantage. Fear spikes through me, but I refuse to freeze. I continue my assault, swinging my pipe with relentless desperation, high, low, middle, anything. But with the shock of the initial assault worn off, Ryouta is an iron ball. He seems to know where my blows will strike before I swing them. No, I have to hit him. I have to, or he'll take his revenge. I lunge forward, pulling all of my strength into the next swing. Ryouta doesn't sidestep, he doesn't duck. He only broadens his stance and holds his pipe on both ends, driving it upwards to meet my blow. The impact shatters up my arms until my shoulders feel numb. I yell in pain, dropping the pipe on instinct. He immediately seizes that moment to bring his own pipe crashing down right on my leg. Ouch! Pain, nothing but pain, white as a sheet in my mind, washing everything out. Ryota's voice bleeds quietly through the agony, low and mocking. Now, child, that's not how you treat your elders. Don't you know that poor decisions come with consequences? He whips in Rui's direction, pipe braced high in his hands, when suddenly from outside the windows, light blasts into the classroom, followed by the shrill overtones of a megaphone. Jiro Ryouta, stand down, you are surrounded. Release the students or we will shoot you. Am I hearing things? Finally! Have I gone insane? Is the pain in my leg clouding my mind? My eyes instinctively search for Rui's. Her expression is a mess. Horror mixed with sorrow mixed with relief. It's real then. Sugar Ray came. But even though she came, I glanced at Ryouta. She's frozen in shock, his hands automatically patting down his pockets, searching for his phone. The phone that I'd smashed to pieces with a metal pipe. It just solidifies my suspicions. He would have been notified if I hadn't managed to break that phone. But what can we do? I'm paralyzed, and Ryouta is hovering right above Rui, a knife clutched tight in his hand. And suddenly, he's recovered from his momentary shock, his face collapsing back into a tight smile. Well, looks like the party's over. I draw a shuddering breath. Give it up, Ryouta. You're surrounded. You're not getting out of this. Oh, I know that. Then put down your knife. Oh, kid, can't you already tell? A feeling of dread instantly starts creeping in, like my bones are being frosted over. Tell what? I care nothing about punishment. I do not fear death. Yeah. All that remains is the beauty of suffering. Ryouta, this is not a warning. We will repeat. The fools, surely they know better than to bluff with a staff member at this damn academy. Bluff? Simply put, if they wish to hit me, they must mow down the entire classroom. The windows are tinted for outsiders. They are as blind as bats. No, how can that be true? I saw Ruri when I was outside the academy. I could see her through the window. And the police, they have to have infrared goggles, some kind of special vision that can help them aim. You must be lying. Oh, the emperor in his new clothes. All the fools of the world believe that they could see that which did not exist. Only one lonely soul, a mere child, showed them the true path. He releases another bout of unhinged laughter. I unconsciously drag myself backwards, ignoring the pounding ache in my leg. I was gonna say pain, but like it's pounding. The pounding ache in my leg. Is this just another step in his delusions? He seems to be spiraling down into an even deeper and darker hole. Come here, my lovelies. You are the last entertainment I will reap from this world. Uh-oh. He wants suffering. He wants me to suffer. The primary target of his choice is obvious. He turns to Rui, a flicker of madness in his eye, as if the appearance of the police was the last switch to his sanity. Ryouta, we will fire in 5. Ryouta pounces with uncanny agility over the desk, flinging his pipe in Rui's direction as he draws his knife with his other hand. Oh my god, Rui throws herself to the side, but she crashes into another desk, sending wood splinters into her arms. 1, fire now! Oh my god, I hear the rattle of gunfire, but the spray of bullets washes across the window, embedded like knives in a wooden table. Spiderweb cracks over the windows, but not one penetrates. Bulletproof. Whoa! That's what Ryouta meant. Bulletproof. How was this not in the files? Someone tell me how this wasn't in the files. Snipers. The perpetrator is moving too quickly. RPGs now. In Enomoto, there's a chance that we will kill the students. They're already dying. Fire those weapons now. Bruh! Ryouta ignores the outside commotion and tackles Ruri against the wall. I hear the dull thump of her head slamming against the plaster. Oh my god. This is a mess! Enough of this squirming. Ryota's grip tightens on his knife. He raises his hand. In one fluid motion, without hesitation, he pins one arm over her head, then drives the knife forward, straight towards her wrist, and... Oh, fucking great! I throw myself forward, but my leg screams in protest. Helpless, again. Oh yes, what a lovely color. He drags a finger along Rui's forearm, smearing blood against his palm, and licks at it with a look of utter bliss. Oh my god, that's fucking nasty. My vision shuffles in front of me as the ache in my leg spreads to my head. You, dear child, shall be my pièce de résistance. What? With his heel grinding into my other hand, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out something that expands like a butterfly's wing. A cold gray switchblade. Oh my god. No, Ryouta, don't. He only smiles wider in response, leaning closer until the switchblade hovers right below her cheekbones. Your face, dear Ruri, is so very lovely. It shall serve as an excellent base. No. Oh my god. This is fucked up. No, please. Oh my god, it's another bad ending. Oh my god, that bad ending drew out so long. Holy shit. Okay, you guys. There we go. I'm actually gonna leave it here because, man, as I said, that bad ending drew up for such a long time that I thought I actually was on to a good ending. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I might just pull up a guide that's hopefully spoilery in a way where I can direct myself onto the path of a good ending. And I want to see, without spoiling myself, how this good ending will come about and how this will all work out in the end, because so far I'm just fucking it up always in every way. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Lucid9. Hopefully by this next episode we can get a good ending finally and put an end to this carnage. And I'll see you guys in my other Let's Play. But for now, bye!